Hi there, Kim from the Pharmacist Voice. I just wanted to make a super short video of me editing. What you're about to see is Studio One Artist version 5, which I really need to update on this machine. It's on an iMac, and you're just going to see my mouse moving around and see the things that I do. Sometimes I'm going to cut something, I'm going to reduce a breath, I might be cutting something out, I might be going backwards in time. So if I can tell if I remove an a like, a a filler word, does it still sound okay? This is just for anybody interested in what audio engineering looks like. This is an interview including me and two different guests. It's my interview with Angel Bivens, RPH, and Dr. Wendy Stefan. This will be the Pharmacist Voice podcast, episode 321. It comes out on Friday, March 14th, 2025. Enjoy. At this time, you should be looking at my screen. You may not be able to hear this audio, but I'll be able to hear it. Just focus on watching my keystrokes. Again, welcome to Studio One version 5. Studio One Artist version 5. I just isolated and reduced three different breaths. They're just kind of loud because her name's Wendy. She's wearing a headset, and because the location of the headset microphone piece is really close to her mouth, you can hear her breaths. My microphone, I like to snuggle right up to the mic, and you will hear me breathing a lot of times. I reduce them in my own podcast episodes, but in this YouTube video, you may be able to hear how audibly loud my breaths are because I like to snuggle up really close to the mic. You just might be able to hear me breathing. So I just wanted to comment on those three breaths that I just reduced. Let's continue. At this time, I want to draw your attention to the space that exists between when this speaker in the purple region stops and the speaker in the blue region begins. If you can see these tiny little numbers, probably can't, but at the bottom right of where my cursor is, it says 1.983. What is that? That's the number of seconds that exist between the time the speaker in purple stops speaking and the speaker in the blue starts speaking. And that's just an estimate. Approximately 2 seconds have occurred right there. And why is that important? Well, typically, if you don't hear any sound for about 2 seconds, you're going to think you accidentally pressed pause and your podcast player has stopped. Because of that, anybody who's really good with editing and understands the audience's needs will reduce that amount of space down to, I don't know, somewhere between half a second and three-quarters of a second. I personally like approximately a half a second. So I'm going to reduce this space. And when I do that, you will see that there's a leading breath right here highlighted in the blue region. I will eliminate that leading breath. How do I know that was the right amount of time? The amount on the tool that I was using, the amount of time on the tool was approximately 1.485 seconds. And I just eliminate it by pressing a shortcut key, the delete key. And I'm back off to the races here. What I did just there is I showed you how I can visually amplify the waveforms. It's not really that loud. Bigger waveforms are typically louder. Smaller waveforms are typically quieter. And what I like to do is just amplify it so it's nice and chunky so I can see what I'm doing. I can actually tell what a word is, if it's an a like, a right, or a breath, by how it looks because of my level of experience. I just wanted to draw that to your attention because these waveforms are really quite small and I amplify them so I can see them better. Let's carry on. There's too much space here. I'm going to reduce this space a little. I'm familiar with the speaker that's in the pink region. Her name is Angel. I've edited podcast episodes with her, I would say at least 5 times. And the reason that I edit the space is that often when she's talking, she pauses to think of what she's going to say next. It's neither good nor bad, it's just how she runs her speech pattern. But for the sake of audience experience, I like to tighten up those spaces a little bit so it flows just a little bit better, a little bit more continuously. Let's carry on. She had a double word here, it's and its. I'm just going to eliminate one of them. Again, it's just for flow. Nothing wrong with how she says it. It's just my personal preference. I prefer for there just to be one. Double words are considered very common editable items in a podcast episode. There it's gone. It should flow a lot better. At this time, I'm going to stop the screen share. You can tell a little bit about what I do. I reduce breaths, I tighten up spaces, I eliminate double words. Sometimes there's a lot of space between two speakers. I tighten things like that up. In this area right here, you're going to hear two people trying to talk at the same time. And sometimes what I'll do if I have the space for it, I will try to separate that out a little bit. I'm not going to show you that magic right here, but as you get into advanced editing, if you choose to start your own podcast, you can do magical things like that where you can separate the two tracks and add a little bit of space after the speaker in pink to allow the speaker in purple to say their piece, and it doesn't throw off the whole entire recording. Working with multiple tracks is not a beginner's game. This is advanced stuff. In addition to what you see here, myself as the host and two guests in the pink and the purple, I'm in the blue. What I will add is a yellow region. I will add, let's see, I'm going to add a track, add tracks. And typically I enter in an introduction track, and sometimes I add in music too. And I love the color yellow for my introductions. Therefore, I'm going to press OK, and it's going to add a yellow track. Ready, set, go. And I like my introduction tracks to be at the top. But for now, I'm going to M for mute it. You can see a red button there that says M. M is for mute. And I'm just going to leave that muted because I'm not recording the introduction at this time. But anyways, my point is to say that, boy, you think this looks messy now, but wait until I add an introduction to the beginning and an outro or conclusion to the end. I'm going to have more than what you see here. And if I choose to add music to this, then there will be an additional track too, which makes it a 5 track episode. As you can see on the left there, from top to bottom, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tracks. There is no waveform for the top track, the intro track, or the bottom track, which is the music track yet. But when this is all said and done, I might just have those. We shall see. All right, that's all I wanted to show you. I'm going to switch back to the regular big version of me. Here we go. And that's it. That's all I have for you. I just wanted to show you a little bit about audio engineering. Right now, I am on a 27-inch iMac, and I really need to update it with Studio One Pro version 7. I happen to be on Studio One Artist version 5. It still works, but I am unable to update my operating system until I get this totally fixed up. I don't know what I'm dragging my heels for. I often need a little bit of help from my friend Don. Sometimes we all need an accountability partner to get us to actually do stuff, whether it's going to the gym, starting a diet, walking for exercise, or whatever it is. If you need an accountability partner to start your podcast or to learn how to do audio engineering, reach out to me. I can recommend some people, or maybe I can get you pointed in the right direction myself. Thanks for joining me for this YouTube video today. Have a great day. Bye.